Hello everyone, today's video is about the last words of every inmate executed in the United States in the year 2017. If you're interested, I have also done last words videos for 2021, 2020, 2019, and 2018. And if you haven't already, please check out my last video on Kathy and Raul Sarinana. First on the list is Christopher Chubasco Wilkins. He was born on September 29, 1968. He landed on death row for killing 3 people, and he was sentenced to death at the age of 37. He was 48 at the time of his lethal injection execution in Texas on January 11, 2017. He made no final words, but he did mouth out, "I'm sorry," to the relatives of his victims. Ricky Javon Gray was a spree killer born on March 9, 1977. He was 28 years old when he killed 7 people. He was executed by lethal injection at the age of 39 in Virginia on January 18, 2017. When asked if he had any last words, he replied by saying, "Nope." Terry Darnell Edwards was born on August 10, 1973. He was 28 years old when he killed 2 fast food employees, which landed him on death row. He was executed by lethal injection on January 26, 2017 in the state of Texas. When asked if he had any last words, he said, "Yes, I made peace with God. I hope y'all make peace with this." Mark Anthony CHRISTESON was born on February 20, 1979. He was 18 when he killed a woman and her 2 children, landing him on death row. He was 37 when he was executed by method of lethal injection in the state of Missouri on January 31, 2017. Although he did not speak his last words, he mouthed, "I love you" a couple of times to people witnessing his execution. Rolando RUIZ Jr. was born on July 4, 1972. He was 20 when he was a part of the murder for hire of a woman to collect a life insurance payout. He was 44 years old when he was executed by method of lethal injection on March 7, 2017 in Texas. For Rolando's final words, he began with apologizing to the victim's family. "Words cannot begin to express how sorry I am and the hurt I have caused you and your family. May this bring you peace and forgiveness." He then thanked his own family for their love and support and ended with saying, "I am at peace. Jesus Christ is Lord. I love you all." James Eugene BIGBY was born on April 8, 1955. He was 32 when he killed a father and his son. During his capital murder trial, he also grabbed a loaded gun from a drawer in the courtroom and tried shooting the judge. He was 61 when he was executed on March 14, 2017 by method of lethal injection. For his last words, he said, "I hope this will bring you peace, and I'm sorry for all the pain and suffering. I hope that you could forgive me, but if you don't, I understand. I don't think I could forgive anyone who would have killed my children." As the drugs were being administered, he prayed and said, "I promise I'm sorry." He then started singing "Jesus Loves Me," but his voice faded away mid-song as the drugs took effect. LEDELL Lee was born on July 31, 1965. He was 27 when he killed his neighbor, landing him on death row. He was 51 years old when he was executed by method of lethal injection in the state of Arkansas. For his last words, he said, "I am an innocent man." To date, his lawyers are trying to clear his name because after his death, new evidence was found. DNA belonging to someone other than LEDELL was found on the murder weapon, and that same DNA was also found on the shirt that the murder weapon was wrapped in. Jack Harold Jones Jr. was a serial killer born on August 10, 1964. He was 30 when he committed his last murder. He was convicted for killing at least 3 women. He was 52 when he was executed in the state of Arkansas by method of lethal injection on April 24, 2017. In a final written statement, he said, "Well, I just want to let the James family and Lacey how sorry I am. I can't believe I did something to her. I tried to be respectful from the time I took and become a better person. I hope I did better. I hope over time you could learn who I really am, and I am not a monster. There was a reason why those things happened that day. I am so sorry, Lacey. Try to understand. I love you like my child." In a final statement to his lawyer, he wrote, "I want people to know that when I came to prison, I made up my mind to that I would be a better person when I left than when I came in. I had no doubt in my mind that I would make every effort to do this. I'd like to think that I've accomplished this. I made every effort to be a good person. I practiced Buddhism and studied physics. I met the right people and did the right things. There are no words that would fully express my remorse for the pain that I caused." Some reports say that he spoke for 2 minutes before his execution, although his full speech was not reported. Some of what he said was, "I hope over time you could learn who I really am, and I am not a monster." And he was talking about one victim he left for dead, but actually survived and was there to witness the execution. Marcel Wayne Williams was born on August 20th, 1970. He was 24 when he murdered Stacey Erickson. He was 46 when he was executed in Arkansas on April 24th, 2017. He was executed the same day as Jack Harold Jones Jr., and he made no final words before his execution. Kenneth Dewayne Williams was born on February 23rd, 1979. He was a serial killer who killed 4 people in Arkansas and Missouri. He was 20 at the time of his last offense, and he was 38 when he was executed on April 27th, 2017 in the state of Arkansas by method of lethal injection. For his last words, he said, "I extend my sincerest of apologies to the families I have senselessly wronged and deprived of their loved ones. I was more than wrong. The crimes I perpetrated against you all was senseless, extremely hurtful, and inexcusable." John Ledford III was born on December 29th, 1971. He was 20 when he killed his 73-year-old neighbor. He was 45 when he was executed by method of lethal injection in the state of Georgia. He was 45 when he was executed by method of lethal injection in the state of Georgia on May 17th, 2017. For his last words, he quoted some words from the movie Cool Hand Luke. "What we have here is a failure to communicate. Some man you just can't reach. I am not the failure. You are the failure to communicate. You can kiss my white trash." He paused and smiled, and then went to continue talking, but his microphone was cut off, so no one could hear what he was trying to say. Thomas Douglas Arthur was born on December. He was sentenced to death in the state of Alabama at the age of 40 for killing Eloise Bray West, the sister of his common-law wife, after she refused to reveal the location of his wife. He was executed at the age of 75 on May 26th, 2017 by method of lethal injection. For his final phone interview before being executed, he said, "Until I take my last breath, I'll have hope. I don't know how to quit. I don't know how to give up." For his final words, he said, "I'm sorry I failed you as a father. I love you more than anything else on this earth." Robert Bryant Melson was born on June 5th, 1971. He was 22 when he killed 3 Popeyes fast food employees, which landed him on death row. He was executed at the age of 46 on June 8th, 2017 in the state of Alabama by method of lethal injection. When asked if he had any last words, he shook his head no. William Morva was born on February 9th, 1982. He was 24 when he killed a sheriff and a hospital security guard. He was executed on July 6th, 2017 in the state of Virginia by method of lethal injection at the age of 35. He made no final words. Ronald Ray Phillips was born on October 10th, 1973. He was 19 when he killed his girlfriend's daughter. He was executed on July 26th, 2017 in the state of Ohio by method of lethal injection at the age of 43. For his final words, he said, "I'm sorry you had to live so long with my actions." Taichin Preyor was born on September 2nd, 1970. He was 33 when he killed his girlfriend, landing him on death row. He was executed on July 27th, 2017 at the age of 46 in the state of Texas by method of lethal injection. For his last words, he said, "First and foremost, I'd like to say, justice has never advanced by taking a human life." He ended by saying he would love his wife and children forever and always. Mark James ASAY was born on March 12th, 1964. He was 23 when he went on a spree kill. Because of who he murdered and why, he became the first white male in the state of Florida to be sentenced to death for a hate crime against a black person. He was executed at the age of 53 by method of lethal injection. When asked if he had any last words, he said, "No, sir, I do not. Thank you." Gary Wayne Ott was born on December 21st, 1971. He was 20 when he killed 2 people during 2 separate back-to-back robberies. He was 45 when he was executed on September 13th, 2017 in the state of Ohio by method of lethal injection. For his final words, he apologized to the families of his victims and sang a song, "The Greatest Thing." He ended with saying, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they're doing." Michael Ray LAMBRIX was born on March 29th, 1960. He was 22 when he killed 2 people after escaping a halfway house while also being on house arrest. He was executed on October 5th, 2017 in the state of Florida by method of lethal injection. For his final words, he said, "I wish to say the Lord's Prayer." He began reciting the words and ended on the line, "Deliver us from evil," while his voice trailed off and he was eventually pronounced dead. Robert Lynn Pruitt was born on September 8, 1979. He was 20 years old when he killed a correctional officer. He was executed on September 13, 2017 at the age of 38 in the state of Texas by method of lethal injection. His last words were, "I just want to let everyone in here know I love you so much. I've hurt a lot of people and a lot of people have hurt me. I love y'all so much. Life don't end here, it goes on forever. I've had to learn lessons in life the hard way. One day there won't be a need to hurt people. I love y'all so much. I'm ready to go, but I'll be back. Nighty-night, everybody. Nighty-night, everybody. I'm done, Warden." Tory Twain McNabb was born on June 9, 1977. He was 20 when he killed Montgomery police officer Anderson Gordon. He was executed on October 19, 2017 at the age of 40 in the state of Alabama by method of lethal injection. For his last words, he said, "Mom, sis, look at my eyes. I'm unafraid. To the state of Alabama, I hate you, motherfucker." He then stuck up both of his middle fingers and awaited his execution. Patrick Charles Hannon was born on October 24, 1964. He was 26 when he killed his roommate and another man named Brandon Snyder. He was executed on November 8, 2017 in the state of Florida by method of lethal injection. For his last words, he first proclaimed his innocence and then apologized to the family of just one of the men he killed. "I hope this execution gives the Carter family some peace. I wish I could have done more to save Robert." In the witness room, there was a woman who did not want to be identified, but after Patrick's last statement, she said, "Bull." In response, Patrick said, "I didn't kill anybody, but I was there when Ron Richardson and James Acker did. Robbie was a good man and a good friend, and I let him down when he needed me most. As far as Brandon Snyder, I think that everybody knows what he did to get this ball rolling. I'm sorry this worked out like this the way it did." The woman in the witness room responded by saying, "F*** you," and then waved goodbye as he was put to death. RUBEN Ramirez was born on April 7, 1970. He was 26 when he killed his cousin Myra Laguna. He was the last person executed in the United States in the year 2017. Even though he was executed on November 8, 2017, the same day as Patrick Hannon, RUBEN's time of death was later than Patrick's. He was 47 when he was executed in the state of Texas by method of lethal injection. When asked if he had any final words, he said, "No, sir."